My word of today is in Gaelic or Irish, and it goes like this. It's actually a sentence. Scath, cheille, mhaireann na daoine. What does this mean? It means in the shelter of each other we live and thrive. And how apt this is today in the world as it is, at the start of our journey into thriving during a time of great stress. We begin to realise the importance of human connection, person to person, family, in our community, and out across the planet. There is nothing that counts more, and this connection starts with ourselves, being connected to our bodies. So let's get straight into our practice, make our way onto our hands and feet. Turn your toes under and lift up into down dog. Separate your fingers wide. Grip the floor with your fingertips. Squeeze your arms towards each other. Externally rotate your upper arms, which is the soft inner parts of your elbows. Turn them towards the front of the mat. This enables our shoulder blades to come onto our back. From here, lifting our hips even higher and inviting our heels to come to the floor. Melt your heart. And release and make your way onto your hands and knees. And moving into cat-cow. Tops your feet on the floor. Breathing out, round your back up, lift your belly. And breathing in, lift your head, sink down between your shoulder blades, melt your heart. Exhaling, rounding up and keeping that going. Body following breath. Coming back to a place of stillness. This time we're going to continue doing this, but instead we're going to lift our right knee off the floor, exhaling, rounding up. Bring your right knee towards your elbow. Inhale, lift your head, look up, melt your heart, stretch your leg out behind you. Exhaling, rounding up. Inhaling, sinking down, lift your head, look up. Release your knee to the floor and switch over onto the other leg. Exhale, round up, bring your knee to your elbow. Inhale, lift your leg out behind, stretch and point it. Lift your head, look up. Exhaling, rounding up. Keep that going. Body following breath. Release your knee to the floor. Walk your knees back, one hand's pace. Turn your toes under, feet inner hip width apart. more doable. Feet together, more difficult. Float your shoulders over your wrists, lift your head, look up, engage your core. Lower gently to the floor. Come all the way down. Arms by your sides. Bring the side of your face to the floor and just rest. Sink down into the floor. Connect with your breath, with your body, with the sensations in your body. From here, moving into revolved lunge. Place your hands under your shoulders. Come onto your hands and knees, all the way up into down dog. Root down. Step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand. Place your weight on your left hand and lift your top arm to the sky, your right arm. Press down with your back toes into the floor. Lift the back of your back knee up. Rotate your right hip back, your right ribs back. Stretch your arm up, engage your biceps. And if you like, you can separate your fingers wide or keep them together. Look up. And gently release and switch over onto the other side. Left foot forward to the outside of your left hand. Place your weight on your right hand and roll your ribs back, your shoulder back. Lift your left arm up, look up. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Lift the back of your back knee up. Soften your face. Release your hands to the floor, step your feet together in the middle of your mat, make your way up to standing. Clasp your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, and place your hands on the small of your back. Feet inner hip width apart, more doable. Feet together, more difficult. Yogi's choice. Inhale, lift your chest, stretch your spine, bend your knees, round your back, bring your forehead to your knees, lift your arms off your back. Sinking down, engage your core. Not forgetting to breathe. Inhale, press down, stand up, and moving into twisted lunge, step your left foot back to the back of the mat. Bend your right knee, bring your hands as if in prayer in front of you, and then bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Press elbow into knee, knee into elbow, press top hand into bottom hand, point top elbow at ceiling, look down at front toes, lift back of back knee up, stretch front knee away from back heel. Return to your breath. Lower your hands to the floor and switch feet. Front foot back, back foot forward, torso upright. Bring your hands as if in prayer. Then twist and bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Press top hand into bottom hand. Look down at front foot. Lift back of back knee up, stretch front knee away from back ankle. Inhale, press down, step your feet together and stand up. Moving into crescent. Lift your right arm up by your ear. Clasp your right biceps with your left hand. Move your hips to the right, your torso to the left. Be as sideways as possible. Inhale, come back up. Clasp your left biceps with your right hand and be as sideways as possible to the left. Inhale, make your way back up to the center. Allow your arms to come down and take 3 breaths. From here, make your way to the back of the mat and moving into lunge pose. Take a big step forward with attitude and intention with your right foot. Bend your right knee, lower your hands either side of your front foot. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Inhale, press down, stand up. Arms shoulder width apart, lift your torso upright, coming into high lunge. Lift the back of your back knee up, lift your head, look up. Press down firmly with your front foot into the floor. Lower your hands to the floor, switch feet, front foot back, back foot forward. Hands either side of front foot. Inhale, lift your arms up. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Look up. Lower your hands either side of your front foot. Lift your head, look up. Switch feet, moving into down dog lunge, left foot back, right foot forward. Move your hands forward, hands shoulder width apart. Allow your head to drop, look back towards your back foot. Walk your hands back, switch feet. Right foot back, left foot forward. Walk your hands out in front, hands shoulder width apart. Allow your head to drop. Stretch your front knee away from your back ankle. Walk your hands back and come onto your hands and knees and make your way into child's pose. Sitting back in your heels, knees together, more difficult. Knees apart, more doable. Sit back deep into your heels, stretch your arms out in front, come up onto the tops of your fingers. Inhale, creep your arms forward. Exhale, sinking even deeper. And from here, making our way into sideways child's pose. Lift your right arm, Bring it across the front of your knees, turn your palm up, look under your left arm, sink down again. And switch sides. Lift your left arm, bring it across the front of your body in front of your knees, turn your palm up and look under your right arm. Allow the right side of your face to come to the floor, the left side of your face to come to the floor, your left shoulder to the floor. Inhale, come back into center and make our way into boat pose. Walk your knees forwards, stretch your legs out in front of you. Bend your knees, place your heels in front of your hips. Stretch your arms outside either side of your knees. Lean back slightly, come up onto the tips of your toes, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Moving into half boat stage one. Clasp your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Bring your elbows into the side of your face. Lift your legs out, lift your chest, stretch them out, lean back. Squeeze heels in together, inner shins, inner thighs. Engage your core. And gently release. And coming into levitating sage. Place your hands on your hips. Lift your right knee up as high as you can. This may be as far as you would like to go today, or stretch it out in front. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Try not to lean back. And release that foot to the floor. And of course, we've got two sides, so let's do it on the other side. Lift your left knee up, high as you can, stretch it out in front. Be as upright, root down firmly with the standing leg into the floor. And gently release. From here, the sequence leads us into Warrior 3. It might be nice to use blocks in this, or maybe not, so I'll use them just to demonstrate their use. Place your blocks at the end of the mat and put them on any height you wish, whichever works for you. Walk towards the back of the mat. Lift your arms up. Inhale, step forward with your right foot. Place your hands on the blocks or on the floor. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Lift your back, knee up, gaze straight ahead. Inhale and release that foot to the floor. Inhale, stand up. Walk back a little bit, lift your arms up, expand. Step forward with your left foot, lean forward, place your hands on the blocks, lift your right leg up behind you. Point your back knee at the floor and just level across your buttocks. You might like to walk your hands forward so that your hands are more under your shoulders, stretching out our torso from our armpits to our hips. And release and make your way up into eagle. Step your feet together, shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg and wrap it around the left leg. Take the double wrap if you can, or you can just bring your right toes to the floor. Lift your left arm, wrap the right underneath, then square your hips, your shoulders to the front of the mat, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Squeeze elbows into chest, chest into spine, gaze straight ahead. And turning inwards, hug the midline. Release, and moving on to the other side, shift your weight onto your right foot, lift your left leg, wrap it around the right, lift the right arm, wrap the left underneath, hug the midline, back straight, sinking down. Press down, stand up, coming into Tadasana, feet together, press down with the four corners of your feet into the floor, squeeze your shins in, press your tailbone down, stretch from your hips to your armpits, broaden across your collarbones, reach arms down, reach fingers down, move ears back, close your eyes if you wish. Connecting to every part that is you. And moving to our next pose, elevated locust, walk towards the back of your mat. You can either clasp your hands behind you and interlace your fingers, or simply have your arms by your sides with your palms facing to the back of the mat. Take a big step forward with your right foot, bend your front knee, lower your hips, lean forward, lift your back leg out behind you, lift your chest, stretch your spine, turn your thumbs up, straighten the standing leg, lower your left hip, lift your arms up even higher, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, press down, stand up. That pose can also be done with the hands on the floor, so yogi's choice. Walk to the back of the mat. Hands by your sides, palms facing the back of the mat. Step forward with your left foot. Bend your left knee, lean forward, lift your back leg off the floor. Flex and point it, lift your arms up. Straighten the standing leg, gaze straight ahead. Inhale, press down and stand up. Moving into bound angle pose. Step your feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out. Clasp your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Line up your front heel so it bisects the arch on the back on your back foot. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Bend your right knee. Move your right knee out in line with the root of your second toe. Inhale and exhale and hinge forward. Bring your head to the floor. Lift your arms off your back. Stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms to vertical or beyond. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Engage your quad. Press down with your front foot into the floor, flare your toes. Inhale, press down, stand up and pivot to the other end. Right foot in, left foot out. Bend your front knee, sink down. Lift your chest, stretch your spine, expand and then contract, hinging forward. Allow your head to drop, lift your arms off your back. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, engage your quads. Notice your breathing. Inhale, press down, turn your left foot in, turn your right foot out. Moving into Trikonasana, set up your foundation, lift your arms parallel to the floor, Look out over your right hand arm, then reach forward and place your hand on the little toe side of your front foot. Lift your top arm up to vertical. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Engage your quads. Draw your right buttock in underneath. Gaze straight ahead. Inhale, press down, stand up and switch to the other end. Right foot in, left foot out. You can keep your arms up or bring them down for a rest depending on how you're feeling. Inhale and then lean forward, place your hand on the floor and lift your top arm up. Press down with the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Roll your ribs back, your shoulders back. Stretch your spine, draw your left buttock in. Allow the tiniest suggestion of a smile to creep into your eyes. Grow the pose from inside. Inhale, press down, stand up and step your feet together. And moving into reverse mudras. Place your blocks at the front of your mat. Or you may not use blocks. Today I'm just using blocks to demonstrate how effective they are. Standing towards the back of your mat, lift your arms up. Step forward with your right foot. Keep your back heel on the floor. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Inhale and place your hands on the blocks. Or not, you can place your hands on the floor. So whatever you feel like you want to do today. Press your heel into the floor, lift your head, look up. Draw your right hip back, your left hip forward. Endeavouring to keep your back heel on the floor. Inhale, press down, stand up and switch feet. Front foot back, back foot forward. And do this one with the blocks. Lift your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward. Place your hands on the blocks. Lift your gaze, look up. Draw your left hip back. Engage your quads. And moving into reverse mudra. Step your right foot forward. Back heel on the floor. Place your right hand on your hip. Lift your left arm up. Cross your body and place your hand on the little toe side of your right foot. Lift your right arm up to vertical or keep it on your hip. Draw your right hip back. Look towards the right hand side. And gently release and switching to the other side. Right foot back, left foot forward. Place your block on the little toe side of your left foot. Lift your arms up. Lift your right arm up, cross your body and place the right hand on the little toe side of your left foot. Lift your left arm up to vertical. Draw your left hip back. Look towards your left hand side. Turn your sit bones up. Inhale, press down, stand up and make your way into forearm lunge. So place your hands on the floor, step your right foot forward so your toenails are in line with your fingernails. Allow your back knee to come to the floor. You may have difficulty getting your elbows to the floor, so place your elbows on blocks or not. Come all the way down. More doable, back knee on the floor. More difficult, lift your back knee off the floor. Stretch your front knee away from your back heel. Release that knee to the floor. switch feet. Front foot back, back foot forward, walk your back leg, foot back, lower down onto your elbows, turn your back toes under, lift your back knee off the floor, look up. Gently release. And moving into one hand arm pose, stage 1. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Bend your right knee, clasp your foot with both hands. Lift your shin parallel to the ceiling. Draw your knee back behind you. Hold the heel with the opposite hand, so the right heel with the left hand. Lift your left arm up. Place it on the floor between your legs and then move it out underneath so you can hook your leg over the top of your arm, yeah? And it's quite high up there, so stay here, more doable, or lift your hips off the floor, or lift the leg up, or lift the hips and foot off the floor. And release, and switch over onto the other side. Stretch your right leg out, bend your left knee, clasp your foot, lift your shin parallel to the ceiling, draw your knees back, draw your left knee back, place your right hand on your heel, lift your left arm up, place your hands between your legs, move your hand out, and then inhale, press down and lift off. Engage the outstretched leg. And release. So moving into seated pigeon, bend your right knee and lift your foot and baby cradle your leg. So press the sole of the foot into the crook of the left arm, the knee into the crook of the right arm, shin across the front of your chest, lift your chest, stretch your spine, press your left heel away from you, the back of your left thigh away from you, press down with your sit bones into the floor, engage your core, stretch from your heels to your armpits. Say that again, stretch from your hips to your armpits. And gently release and switch over onto the other side. Bend your left knee, clasp your foot, lift your shin parallel to the ceiling, draw it back. I'm just going to demonstrate another way you can hold your leg in this case. You can put the two arms underneath and hold it like that. And for some people it's not an option at all. You might be out here with it and that's fine, that's where you are today. So whatever is available for you. Shin parallel to the ceiling. Root down with your sit bones into the floor, push through your heel. Press the back of your thigh into the floor, engage your core. Broaden across your collarbones, stretch from your hips to under your armpits. Move your ears back. Lift the sides of your mouth and even smile. And gently release. And moving into down dog, place your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, turn your toes under, lift your hips up, separate your fingers wide, externally rotate your upper arms, look at a point between your thumbs, engage your quads. Moving into fallen sage, pivot your ankles to the right and then slide your right leg, right foot forward. So you're on the outside edge of your right foot, the inside edge of your left foot. Lower your hips to the floor and then lower your chest, Move your hands wider than your shoulders. Lower your chest to the floor. Turn your head and look away from your feet. Separate your feet as wide away from each other as you can. Engage your quads, make both legs straight. Arms in cobra arms. Point your elbows at the ceiling. From here, lift your torso. Come up onto your feet. So basically now we're in plank with our legs crossed. From here, we're moving through down dog. Pivot your ankles to the left. Slide your left foot forward, which is counterintuitive. Come onto the outside edge of your left foot and the inside edge of your right foot. And again, we're basically in plank with our legs crossed. Lower your hips to the floor and lower your chest to the floor, your chin to the floor. Look away from your feet. So you've got a great double twist going on. Walk your hands back in cobra arms. Inhale and come back up. And coming into cobra, place your hands in cobra arms. Tops of your feet on the floor, flare your toes. So what are cobra arms? Well, if you wore a bikini, your hands would be somewhere at your bikini line. So wherever that is for you gentlemen. Coming through the gateway of your arms, press the top of your feet in the floor. Inhale, lift your chest, stretch your spine, squeeze your heels together, look up, move your ears back. Squeeze your inner thighs, tighten your glutes, broaden across your collarbones. And release. And coming into a half frog, bring your right forearm across the front of your body. Bend your left knee, clasp your left foot with your left hand. Rotate your hands so that your fingers are pointing forward. May not be for everyone. Squeeze your knees closer together. I know quite far apart there. Lift your chest, look up. Press the top of the right foot into the floor. Lift your right knee off the floor. Gently release and switch over onto the other side. Bring your left forearm across your body. Hand on the floor, palm on the floor. Bend your right knee. Reach back, clasp your right foot. Pivot your hand on top of your foot. Press the top of your left foot into the floor. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. And gently release. And coming into bow pose. Bend your knees, clasp your ankles, both hands. Turn the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. And this time just keeping your knees on the floor, lift your head and chest off the floor. Squeeze your ankles together, your knees together, your inner thighs, tighten your glutes, move your ears back. And release. And coming into elevator bow. Bend your right knee and move your right foot out to the side and clasp it with your left hand. And then lift your right knee off the floor. Use your knee to lift your leg, lift your chest, stretch your spine, stretch it up, look up. And release. and switch over onto the other side. Pivot your left knee, clasp your ankle with your right hand, lift your knee off the floor. Use your knee to lift your leg, lift your leg and stretch it up and look up. Press the top of your right foot into the floor. And release, and moving into star pose. Take a block and place the block between the soles of your feet. Keeping back, lift your chest, stretch your spine, and then hinging forward. Press the soles of your feet into the block. Hinging forward, gazing beyond your toes. Inhale, come back up. Bring the soles of your feet together, holding your ankles, and allow them to open like a book. So the bottom of them are together, the top of them are open like that. Be as upright as possible. Keep pressing the bottom, your feet towards each other, rolling them open. And gently release. Swing into triad pose. Bend your left knee and bring your heel into your hip. And to make this easier, you take your block and pop it under your right buttock. If you don't have a block, use a cushion. And bend your knee and clasp your ankle. Lift your chest, stretch your spine. Press the top of your left foot into the floor. Squeeze your heel towards your hip. Stay here, more doable, more difficult. Lift your leg up and flex and point it. And switch sides. Take your block and place it under the left hip. Sit down on your buttocks, heel out to the side, clasp your foot, be as upright as possible. And inhale and then stretch it up or stay where you are, flex and point it. And release and switch your block out to the side. And coming into twisted sage, sit on your right hip with your feet out to the left and place the top of your left foot so it bisects the arch of the right foot. Place your right hand on your left knee, place your left hand behind you, you can put it on the block. And in this case, look over your front shoulder. Now, press down with your sit bones into the floor, roll your left ribs back, your left shoulder back, lift your gaze. And switch over onto the other side. Sitting on your left hip, bring your feet out to the right and place the top of your right foot bisecting the arch of your left foot. Place your left hand on your knee, place your right hand behind you. Place on my block, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Look over your front shoulder, draw your right ribs back, your right shoulder back. Be as upright as possible. Press down with your sit bones into the floor. Release and moving into upward bow. Come and lie on your backs. Feet hip width apart. Place your hands on the floor. Turn your fingers towards your feet. Press down with your feet into the floor. Squeeze your shins in, squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale, come up onto your head, more doable, like so, or float on up. Allow your head to drop. Walk your feet in towards each other, squeeze your knees together. And gently release down, slide your heads back, stretch your legs out, bring your hands to your sides and just rest. From here, moving into firmly rotated pose. Bend both knees, bring your knees into your chest. Clasp the outside edge of your right foot with your right hand. Superglue your knees together, your ankles together. Roll over onto your right hip, stretch your legs out. Stretch your left arm out behind you. Lift your head off the floor, place it back on the floor, look away from your feet. Make both legs straight, press the backs of your thighs away. If this is too much for you, you can always use a strap. And release. I'm moving into firmly rotated pose on the other side. I'm just going to shift my position to give myself a little bit of room. Come and lie down. Bend your knees. Clasp the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand. Roll over onto your left hip. Stretch your left legs out. Push through your heels. Stretch your right arm out behind you. Look back behind you. Bring your awareness to your breath. From here, we make our way into double diamond. Bring your knees back into the center of your mat. Walk your feet out to the long edges of the mat. Stretch your arms out. Make goalposts of your arms by bending your elbows. Place the backs of your hands on the floor. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And allow your knees to come down to the right hand side. So you're coming onto the outside edge of your right foot, the inside edge of your left foot. And then lift your head off the floor. And look away from your knees and place it back on the floor again. And just relaxing, releasing, letting go, receive your breath. And feeling that deep connection you've established with your body as you make your way, as you have made your way through the practice. Inhale, come back to center. Allow your knees to come down on the other side. Lift your head, turn it, place it back on the floor and look away from your knees. And again, receive your breath, noticing the connection to your breath. Inhale, come back to center. Place your heels in front of your hips, moving into thread the needle. Lift your right foot, place the outside edge of your right foot on top of your left knee. Bring your left knee into your chest, slip your hands between your legs and either hold the knee or the thigh, whatever's available for you. Make both feet active. There are my feet not active, there are my feet active. Press your lower back into the floor. Invite your shoulder blades onto their back. Move your ears back. Bring your attention to the connection with body, breath, and spirit and all that is you. And release and switch over onto the other side. Place your feet on the floor. Lift your left foot. Allow the outside edge of your left foot to rest on top of your right knee. Bring your right knee into your chest. Slip your hands between your legs. Make both feet active again. Right shin parallel to the ceiling with both shins if you can manage it. And release your feet to the floor. Stretch your legs out, moving into supine twist. Lift your left leg, cross it over your body, and bring the inner part of your knee to the floor. Stretch your left arm out behind you. Invite your shoulders onto the floor. Lift your head off the floor and look back towards your left arm. And release and switch over onto the other side. Stretch your left leg out. Lift your right leg, bend it, cross it over, place it on the outside of your left knee. Invite your right knee to come to the floor. Stretch your right arm out behind you. Look behind you towards your right hand arm. If you wish, you can place your left hand on top of your right knee. And gently release. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself the most delicious, loving, warm, kindly hug. Maybe massaging your spine, moving around, just feeling how good your body feels after the practice. And from here we make our way into relaxation or shavasana. You may wish to get a pair of socks on you or catch a blanket, maybe an eye pillow, and set yourself up for the last 5 minutes of shavasana. Come and lie down on your back. Cover yourself with a blanket. And just completely relax, release, let go. Sink into the floor. Ease out your breathing. Allow your out-breath to lengthen. deepen your breathing. Bring your attention back into your body and onto the mat. Gently start to awaken your body by moving your hands, your feet. Perhaps give yourself a stretch. And in your own time, bend your knees, roll to one side, pause here for a moment. And then push your way up to sitting. And just as a final reminder, scath, cheille, mhaireann, daoine. In the shelter of each other we live. Thanks for practicing, thanks for coming to practice, and see you on the mat.